Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here, to be able to empower and share this wonderful information with you. But just by show of hands, how many of you already have a business? You have a business, okay? That's pretty much the whole room. All right, so I have some great things that I'm going to share with you. Take good notes or bring out, you're welcome to audio record this. It's going to be some information that people are not going to tell you, right? But I'm here to let you know that if you're in business, you could be in business successfully. How many of you are already making $1 million in your business?
In my mind.
$1 million?
In my mind.
In your mind.
In my mind.
Okay, yeah. Mindset is everything, right? If you believe it and you put the steps in place and take action, you can do that, right? How many of you are at least making $500,000 in your business? $100,000. Okay, we got a couple $100,000. Okay, so with this information that I'm going to share with you today, you're going to see how quickly, if you're not to 100,000, you can get there, right? But if you're not to $500,000, you can get there in the next 3 to 5 years, right? So believe it or not, I'm going to share this information with y'all. It's going to be so powerful. So I first want to just introduce myself. I'm Karwana. I grew up in San Francisco. I consider myself to be a business growth strategist, but also I specialize in government contracts for small business, so I'm a consultant. I grew up in a family of 7. I'm the 4th of 7 kids. My mom was a single parent. We grew up in the inner city, and we did not have everything. So it was working class family. So everything was like 7 kids, you're going to pay less, that type of situation. So I knew that at a very young age that I did not want to be a struggling parent that works all day and we're barely making it, guys, take my kids to pay less. I knew that wasn't for me, right? So I went to school. I was determined to be the first college graduate, and I got that, in my family. I was the first to get my master's degree in my family. And in fact, my niece in the back, she's a 3rd generation. We have 4 generations. My great nephew is back there. So because I always wanted more, I always created a plan. Visionary and having a plan is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself. If you have a vision, you have to be very specific what that's going to be. Find mentors, take action, and then you will see that vision come to pass, okay? There's 3 areas of business that I'm going to cover today. The first area is going to be starting a business, right? A lot of you have already started your business, but I'm going to show you some things that you may be like, oh, I forgot that part, or I didn't even know this part, right? So I'm not only starting a business, but how to make that business foundation a fundable business so that you're able to get yeses to those business loans, yeses to that line of business credit, and yeses to the financial capital that you need to run your business. I'm going to cover very briefly on business branding and why that's important. But most significantly, I'm going to tell you about how to grow your business with government contracts, okay? I just want to do a quick survey to see what type of business we have in the room. Starting, you have a business?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have a massage therapy business.
Okay, massage therapy.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Wellness
okay.
company.
Wellness, okay.
I'm going to put it towards property management, residential real estate.
Residential real estate, okay.
Residential, commercial, real estate.
Commercial real estate.
Coaching and consulting.
Coaching, consulting for businesses? Professionals.
Financial services.
Oh, yeah, I know what you do. I already have your service, okay.
Yeah. Corporate gifting service.
Corporate gifting service. In the back? Business, what type of business do you have? In the blue?
I'm running a property management through Airbnb.
I remember you from the last one. Okay.
Weight management and nursing case management.
Nursing case, okay.
Auto repair and fleet service.
Okay. And what?
Multimedia.
Multimedia. Hey, we in the same lane. The ma'am in the, yeah. No business? Okay. Okay, and then my niece is starting a business. All right, so the good thing is there are contracts for everything that you guys said that you do. Yeah. Everything, right? There's contracts. And I'm going to show you a little bit about that and how you go after them. Okay, so with starting a business, there's some fundamental things that I'm gonna cover. Mostly your EIN, which is like your social security number for your business. You must have that. I'm gonna go over the importance of a DNB number, getting incorporated if you don't already have like an entity that's separate from yourself. And I'm gonna cover the importance of like leveraging a virtual office if you cannot afford to have a office brick and mortar space for yourself. Why it's important to have a business phone number, listing yourself in a 411 directory, and then these other items we're gonna cover like branding and growing your business. Okay. My favorite quote, and I always say this, by Tony Gaskins: if you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to help them build theirs. That's very powerful. Okay, so just remember, back in the day when you were growing up, the teacher asked you, where do you want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? Everybody had an answer. Firefighter, lawyer, I want to be an astronaut, right? All those dreams, right? How many of you are doing what you said you wanted to be? Okay, that's amazing. So we have two people that are doing what they said. But guess what? You can do whatever it is that you set your heart to. The only person that's keeping you from being who you want to be is who? You, right? So if you want to do it, create the plan, go after it, and you can do it. So just remember that. Okay, so getting your free EIN. How many of you have an EIN already? Okay, so that's about half. Okay, so it's very important for you to have an EIN number. That is your social security number basically for your business, right? So you get it for free at irs.gov. There are companies that will do it for you for a fee. They normally charge like a couple $1,000s, but it's absolutely free if you go to irs.gov and get that. Forming your entity. Do we have any sole proprietors in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So when I first started my business, and I have two companies. So the first business that I started is a sole proprietorship, but I learned to start an entity. Okay, an entity is like an LLC or S corp or any of those corporations. The reason why you want to have an entity that's separate from you is, number one, when you are sole proprietorship, you are responsible for everything that happens in your business, right? So if you get in debt, they can come after your personal assets. But when you form an entity, that entity is just a invisible person. It has nothing to do with you, right? If your entity goes into bankruptcy, or if something happens, you're liable for something, you can close that entity and start again. It has nothing to do with you, your personal assets. So that's why it's very important to have an entity. Not only that, right? But if you're a sole proprietorship and you go to the bank and you're looking for a loan, the first thing they're gonna do is pull your your credit. Pull your credit. So if you don't have a 700 credit score or at least a 680 credit score, you're gonna get denied. Chances are most likely you're gonna get denied. But it's okay to be working on your personal credit. But if you have an entity, you can build that entity business credit that's separate from your own personal credit. It has nothing to do with you. It's a business. It's a whole person, right? That's separate from you. And guess what? Now, if the bank will approve you on your personal social security number for like a $20,000 line of credit or whatever, as a business, we're talking about $150,000. That's big. So you could be leveraging both yourself and your business to build wealth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I went through this already. What is the difference between sole proprietorship and LLC, S corp? All of those things is just creating, separating yourself from your business. Now, making your business entity fundable. Right. So now we filed articles of incorporations to create an LLC or S corp or whatever you want to do. Right. So now that I have this entity, how do I make this entity fundable, attractive for banking, for financing, for capital, right? The first thing you want to do is you want to build a line of credit by having vendor accounts. Now, making your entity fundable actually gets you access to finances, but also credit cards for your business. And also like supplies, like office supplies. We all need like paper, pens, books, all that stuff for our office business and stuff. So you don't have to, pay that out of your personal income. You can take that. You can actually open up a vendor account, a line of credit, and pay that off. And these are the things that you need to do to build credit. Getting your free Dun and Brad. Does anybody have a Dun and Brad? Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay, this is extremely important because if you ever want to get grants or federal funding, the Dun and Brad number is going to help you. You need that, right? If you want to get contracts with government entities, you have to have this. If you want to build business credit, you need to have a Dun and Brad number. This is also free, okay? And this is the link dashboard.dnb.com/register. So, and you can do this even if you have a sole proprietorship. But just remember, as a sole proprietorship, when you're building credit, they're going to pull your personal credit score. All right. So now, the aspects of building a fundable business, and I'm going to tell you these things. Now, this is business credit is like a whole class within itself. But I'm giving you guys everything I can. Like the short version, the quick version, the overview. But okay, so say when you have a business license, you formed your entity, you got your EIN, you got your your Dun and Brad number, right? So now that you have these fundamental basic things, what else can I do to become attractive to the banks for funding, right? The next thing you want to do is have a business location. Not a residential address, but a business address that's in the industrial business area. Well, how do I do that if I only got $200 to start my business, right? I only have that. I can't afford $800 a month for rent, right? Virtual office. A virtual office, which is like, I believe this is a virtual office that we're in. But basically a virtual office, and Regis offers them as well. It's basically a office building that will put your personal business name on their mailbox. You can use their address. You can use their business address. So when the funders go looking you up, they look up where is the business located. If it's in a residential area, that's a red flag, right? But if it's in a business area, they're like, oh, this is a real legitimate business. So virtual offices probably cost maybe anywhere from $60 to $100 a month. Very, very affordable. Not only can you use the virtual office for your business address, but you can actually go to use that office space and pay like, $30, $20 an hour or whatever to use that office for the day. And you can have conferences and meet your clients there and all that stuff. So it's really good, a really good thing to have, and I recommend it because this is all steps towards building business credit.
Question, if you're paying it per month, you still pay per hour if you come in?
Yeah, so if you're paying it per month for the virtual office, that means it's just an office, virtual.
Okay.
Virtually, you can use their address.
Okay.
So if you want to use the space, then you got to charge per hour unless you actually have an actual office space, which is still low cost with virtual office because they're like $300 a month, $400 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. Business phone number. You have a question?
Could you just go back to your last slide?
Mm-hmm. So for virtual office, so as from virtual offices, here are some of the resources like WeWork.com offer them. I use Regis.
Just gonna say, you can use somewhere like Impact Hub, and they do
Yep.
like hourly, so
Yeah.
it ties into what you were saying, the in person or just address only.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Okay, and then business phone number. Here's another thing that you also want to keep separate from your personal cell phone number, which is like your business phone number, right? So some people use like Google phone numbers, which is different. And then some people, you can also go to like evoice.com and get a toll-free number for your business. That's just going to make you look even more, validated as a business, right? So stay away from having, unless you have a cell phone that's in the name of your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the key to that is that's a business tax write-off when you have a business.
So if you have one that's personal, how do you switch it over if you already been using that number?
Just call your phone company and tell them you want to open it up in your business name, so they can switch you from a personal account to a business account.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to ask you for your EIN number.
Okay.
Yep, and if you want them to report that as a trade line on your credit, you give them your Dun and Brad number too. So
Okay.
that paying your bill on time will help you build business credit.
Okay.
So-
One more question. If you have a sole and want to go to LLC, how do you switch that?
So you can't switch, you just starting
Start
over.
over.
You're starting
Okay,
over.
starting over.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you can have your regular cell phone with the
Mhm.
Dun and Brad's, switch that to the business number, a business number, and that helps to build your credit?
No, okay.
Your,
So say you have a
credit?
cell phone number, it's in your name, right?
Okay.
You call up your phone company, say, I want to switch to a business account. You give them the name of your business, your EIN, and your DUNS number, right? So no longer will it be under your social security number, it'll be under your business entity now. So now if you want them to report it to, as a line of credit to the business credit bureaus, then you have to request that, and then because you paying your bill every month, that's a positive business, line of credit, and it helps you to get a positive business credit score. So now it's not a personal phone, it's a business phone.
Do they, you get better rates with business phone?
They have business plans, yeah,
Is it-
it's different.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Similar,
About the same?
but about the same, but similar, but yeah. So, but it's not about the better phone rate, right? If it can
Right.
get you a $200,000 line of credit because it's helping you build your business
Right.
credit,
Right.
that's the bigger picture.
So when I got my website through GoDaddy, they had the thing with the smart line, and it's like a whole
It's
nother
like a
phone number.
business. Mhm.
And I'm using that as my business,
Yeah.
that's my business number.
Yep.
How do I put that under?
You wouldn't use that under your cell phone. It's just a business number that GoDaddy. You got it from GoDaddy.
Oh, but that, I
Yeah.
can't put that with the Dun & Burke's.
Yeah, you could just call up call up GoDaddy and ask them to report that as a trade line.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so getting listed in the 411 business directory is the next thing that you do. Now, how many of you remember the Yellow Pages? Yellow Pages? Okay, so that was a long time ago, but they're still around, and they charge like, I don't know, $2,000 a year or something for you to be listed in the Yellow Pages. But if you want to show up, when funders go look you up, you have to be listed in the 411 business directory. This is a step to building business credit. Now, you can do that for free at listyourself.net. Listyourself.net is a free resources that you can go to list your business. Okay, and also Google Business Listing. You can do that. You can submit your business to Google Business Listing. So that way, when you go apply for any credit cards or anything for your business, they can look you up. It shows that you have a Google listing. It shows that you're listed in the 411 directory, and it shows that you're a real legitimate business and you're not just trying to, just do something shady to get some money, right? All right. So having a business plan is very key. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay? So if you do not have a business plan already, I don't care if you've been in business for 10 years, write the vision and make it plain. Mm-hmm. What is your business? Who is your target market? What are you pricing your services at? Who is at least one competitor, right? So you have to write that out with a strategy. How are you going to reach your customers, right? Whatever your marketing strategy is. So it's very important to have a business plan, even if it's just a one-pager. And I must say this, as you grow in business, your business plan is going to change a million times. Just like in life, things change, right? But at least you have a roadmap to where you want to be, where you are, where you want to be, okay? You have a roadmap, a template to start with. So please, if you do not have a business plan, you can actually text the keywords get clients to 797979. I have a 1-hour business plan jogger that you can download. It has like writing points just basically so you can get the information out of your head. All right, so I do want to say this, that small businesses are so very key to the U.S. government, so much so that they created programs just for you. There's a lot of programs that people don't know about. You will hear it accidentally by somebody like me who come and share it with you. But the government honors small businesses so much because it's the small businesses that's thriving our society, that's generating the economic income in the U.S. And so according to the small business standards, the SBA small business standards, basically around about a small business is any business that has under 500 employees, that's you considered a small business. So really, if you have no employees, you are a micro small business, right? And then if you generate under around about $14 million in revenue, okay? So that means there's a lot of small businesses out here. And the people that's not even making $100,000, where are we? We're micro. So they have programs for you, for us micro businesses, and I'm going to share with you in just a little while. Okay, vendor accounts. Okay, so you say about these vendor accounts to build business credit. I've done the checklist, right, and I've gotten all these things in place. Even the things that I missed along the way, right? So now, what's the next step to getting this business credit so that I can now go out and get the funding that I need for my business? The first thing you need to do to build business credit, after you have those other things that I spoke about previously, is go out to get at least 3 to 4 vendor accounts. What is a vendor account? Those are, say you want to go to Office Depot and not pay cash, open up a line of credit, they give you 30 to 60 days to pay it off. That's a vendor account, okay? So you want to open up at least three to 4 vendor accounts initially. So there's these are some of the vendors that will give new businesses that's brand new to building business credit a line of credit. Usually, sometimes they will require you to pay the first bill and then they'll open up your credit line, right? But Quill, Uline, Strategic Network Solutions, and Granger. Those are the companies that will definitely give you your initial credit, okay? You get the product that you want, you pay your bill in 30 days, they give you a credit score, okay? As long as you paying your bill on time, just think of business credit as a 700 credit score. If you're paying your bills on time, you have a 700 credit score, right? But in business, it's called a paydex score, right? And that 700 is equivalent to 80, like an 80 credit score, okay? So as long as you have this 80 or anywhere between 70 and 80 credit score, which means you're paying your bills on time, you can go to the bank and get $200,000, $150,000. They'll give you that, okay? That's game, right? All right.
Free game.
So now the next step after you have your vendor accounts and say you've had them for 90 days, it's reported to the Business Credit Bureau. The next step is business credit cards. Now you're opened up to be able to get business credit cards. Okay? So Capital One has a Sparks card. They'll start you off at $700 to see how you do, if you knew. All right, and then every 6 months they'll increase that to by lumps of like 500, right, increments or so. Chase Inc. Now Chase Inc. is a company. They will ask you for your personal credit, your personal Social Security number because they just overcautious like that. But if you have a 680 credit score, that's all you need, 680 or 630 to 680. And your utilization rate is under 30%, which means that your personal lines of credit, you're not maxed out, but you're paying, you only owe like 30% of your personal credit line. They will give you multiple 10K credit cards to start you off. Multiple. There's two. They have 2 cards for small businesses. So how many of you have a business card that's 10K at least right now? Okay, that's good. So, and then Bank of America will give you they'll start you off with a $2,000 line of credit or credit card, right? So you want to have credit cards for your business. So first is the vendor accounts, then it's the credit cards, and next it opens up for the line of credit. Now, if you are in business and you have a 80 paydex score, right, because you've been building your business credit, paying your bills on time, and you have these vendor accounts, you have business credit cards, now it shows that you're worthy of a $150,000 line of credit. You'll get approved for that, for your business. So most people go into business and, you chase a customer to pay the bills. You're chasing the customer to pay the bill. You're chasing the customer to pay the bill. But if you leverage your business to build wealth, then now with this line of credit, I can pay myself, right? I can pay myself or pay an employee or whatever, and I don't have to chase customers. I could really sit back and focus on what is going to be my strategy to grow my business. And I'm going to pay myself over this year or 2 years. I don't have to stress about paying my bills or whatever. I could really focus on growing and scaling my business, okay? So that's how it really works, right? Because most people don't come in with this education. They don't come in knowing this knowledge. Like even me, like I had to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? Like we don't have this type of knowledge. And so this is what these businesses are doing. They're thriving because they're doing these steps, okay? So startups, you know what the startup companies do? This. and they build $1 million businesses based off business credit, right? So now your business is valued at $1 million because you built this line of credit. You have these credit cards, you have these vendor accounts, and guess what? If you want to sell that business and start a whole nother business, then you're in the startup game, right? So that is how you leverage a business to generate wealth, okay? Okay, free business credit. Okay, so here's a free business credit builder tool, nav.com. So once you have the items, those audit items, those checklist items that I spoke about earlier, you want to sign up for a free NAV account, because this will tell you where you stand on your personal credit score, but also where you stand on your business credit score, and it'll tell you based on those factors of what's going on in your business, what credit cards you qualify for, what funding, loans and stuff. It'll say, well, you're 80% match for this funding, you're a 90% match for this, or you should apply for this credit card. So it's a really great tool for business owners to use. All right. And so I already went through, like, this is how you build a valuable multi-million-dollar business, because you have business credit, you have business loans, you have the 80 paydex score, all of these things. When you have these things, then you have a valuable business. You could have zero money in the bank, but if your business is valued at 200, 300, 500,000, you can sell that business, okay? Branding your business. Okay, so it's very key in business that people know who you are visually, right? And by name. So it's very important, and also this is a very key component as well for business credit, that you have a website or domain name after your business, okay? So if it's XYZ, then you want to have xyz.com, okay? And then you want to have a professional business email address, not a Gmail, not a Hotmail, not a Yahoo, but an email address that's linked to your domain name, okay? So if your domain name is xyz.com, then you want to have contact@xyz.com as your email address, okay? So all of this is important when it comes to business credit and how you look to funders.
You said contact?
Contact, it could be your name, like whatever it is, that's just an example. So it could be contact or whatever your name is at xyz.com. So you just want to have the xyz.com.
I have a question. So my business name is kind of long and it's been shortened, so it's Mahogany Touch Health and Wellness, but my domain name is mahoganytouch.com.
Yeah, so you can have, what's your name?
Crystal.
So it could be crystal@mahoganytouch.com.
Okay.
Email, okay? All right, so you want to have a logo, which is basically your mark. Just like Nike, you want to have Nike's famous for just do it, right? So you want to have a slogan and your brand name and your image to be synonymous with who you are, the services you provide. When people hear your brand, you should want them to be able to identify your brand with who you are, right? Business cards, you want to have business cards. All of your social media handles should be after the name of your business, not your personal name. You can have a personal social media account, but you also want to have a business account for social media that's just for getting clients, that's just for branding purpose, that's just for that, and it has to match your business name. So that way everything is congruent across the board. All right, so growing your business. You guys ready for this part? Mm-hmm. All right, so this is the part that's very, very key, and I always tell people you want to be open-minded when it comes to growing your business. Most people think that in order to grow your business, you have to go run after more customers, right? Or if I'm a hairstylist, I have to do more hair, right? To get,
Or massage.
yeah, or whatever, right? Most people think that way. With business, when it comes to business growth strategies, you have to be creative. You have to think outside the box, okay? So what other ways can you leverage your business to generate income, right? So if you're a hairstylist, can you do a hair show? Can you do advertising in your shop? Can you do small groups teaching people about natural hair care, right? So can you write a book or whatever? Can you do a workshop? So all of those different things are ways for you to generate multiple streams of income. So you could create multiple streams of income with just one business, okay? I always use the example as a child care provider. What else do you provide in that child care? Nutritional services because you're feeding kids. You're talking to parents, so that's like peer-to-peer counseling. You're helping kids with their homework, so that's tutorial services. These are all services within your business, so you have to look at everything that you do in your business as a stream of income. Not just I provide childcare, but every single aspect. The reason why that's important is because every single aspect of what you do in your business, there's pools of money available that the government has for you. So you don't want to just go to them and say, well, I only do childcare, right? If they have money for nutritional services, they have money for you to do peer-to-peer counseling and tutorial services, you want to get all that, right? Okay, so think outside the box.
Question, would you put that in that business plan that you were talking about before?
You can put it in the business plan. You
Okay.
can. Mm-hmm.
Can you go back one slide, please?
Here.
Perfect, okay.
Okay. All right. So government contracting for small business owners. Now, this is extremely important, and this is the amazing thing for me. Now, the reason why I've been in business for 12 years is because of this very thing, government contracts for small business. Now, how many of you ever thought that the government could be your client? Okay, maybe one. The reason why, and two, the reason why people don't think that is because they don't know, right? The government spends trillions and trillions of dollars annually with small business owners, okay? On all services. If you sold paper, if you sold water, if you do trucking, if you do power washing, janitorial services, accounting, consulting, massage therapy, all of that, real estate, right? They use those services as well. I was very shocked to even find out that they do musician services, but it makes sense because they have chapels. So if you're a minister of music, you can get a government contract. It's very crazy. Okay, so it is. It's very crazy. Photography services, multimedia. So that this is how I got several contracts with the government. So the first time I found out about this, I went and did everything that I needed to do to position my business to land contracts. The first contract I ever landed was $70,000, and it was just for 28 days of work. Now that's somebody's annual salary,
Right.
who's working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? So when I saw this, I was like, this is very powerful. I think they made a mistake. I really thought they made a mistake, right?
But you gonna get it anyway.
I'll take it, right? So I said, well, let me think about this thing. What did I just do? So I went back and I did it again. And I landed another contract for like $60,000, right? For similar days of work. And then another, and then another. And now I'm up to like 6 figures for like
3 months?
3 to 4 months. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I never in a million years thought that the government would be my client. Photography services. Never in a million years connected those two. Trucking, you were talking about billions of dollars for trucking services and hauling and fleets and all that. It's ridiculous money out here, you guys.
Billions of dollars? For
Billions
fleets?
of dollars.
I'm a partner with you.
So,
Well, I'm about to hook up with her.
getting
I
certified.
need a training.
So getting certified and government contracts. So here's a fact: the government agencies and private corporations as well. They have a similar program. They have an obligation to provide a percentage of all of their spending, all of their budget, with women-owned and minority-owned small businesses. If you're a disabled vet, like if you're in a group that's been traditionally marginalized, like LGBT. Disadvantaged businesses, people who are small businesses that are struggling businesses, they have a mandated goal, which means it's not an option. They don't get to choose. They have to. They have to spend this money. So let's just say if PG&E, that's a government agency. Mm-hmm. So if PG&E had an obligation they procured $200 million for the year, right? If they're going to be spending $200 million for the year, and if their goal was to give 6% of that to a minority small business, that would mean there's $12 million on the table just for this particular agency, and that's just an example, right? So that means if you're a minority and they know you're a minority-owned business, you can go after a contract. What type of services do the PG&E? You thinking electrical? Yeah, they have that too. but they eat, so catering services. They drink water, so water bottling services. They have paper, pens, they have offices, they have trucks, all of that stuff. So, yes, you can get a contract with PG&E.
So they also have workers who need massage, so how do you?
All of that.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
of that. So, and I think I'm almost out of time, so I'm just rush through the last piece. So, there's 3 levels of certification. There's local, there's state, and there's federal. So the U.S. federal government, right? There's the state of California, 50 states in the United States. And then there's a local city and government county. So if you're from San Francisco, the county has contracts for you. If you're from Oakland, if you're from Fremont, you're from Hayward, they all have contracts on every single level. So when I said trillions of dollars, that's just on the federal level only. So now there's state and there's local contracting opportunities. So it's just it's endless, right? So what do you need to do business with the government? Real quick. Go back real quick. What do you need to do to do business with the government? What are the different types of certifications? First of all, local business. If you're a local business, you want to register yourself as a local business so that you can get that local funding, right? If you're a minority, you want them to know that you're a minority. If you're a woman, you want them to know. If you're a part of the LGBT, you want them to know. All of that stuff. If you're a disabled vet, you want them to know. Okay, what do you need to do business with the government? That same Fundable Business Foundation that I shared with you, right? The same documents. You need a business license. You need your EIN. You need your Dun and Brad number. You need a lease agreement from a virtual office, okay? Or if you don't have a virtual office, you're a sole proprietorship, a lease agreement from your residential place or whatever. Birth certificate to prove that you're a U.S. citizen. Driver's license to show that, you're local, right? All of these things. So the same thing that you need to create that business line of credit is the same thing you basically need to get certified. Okay, getting certified, here are some of the agencies. I know I gave you the example of PG&E, but just to open your mind, the Department of City Treasurer. So if you do anything with budgeting, financial, payroll, you can get a contract with the city treasurer. Fire department, uniforms, fleet, like all of those things. What else could you think about that they need, right? They have events, school districts. If you do consulting, coaching, you have programs aimed towards youth, you can get a contract. Janitorial services, window washing, all of that stuff. If you provide supplies and stuff, all of that stuff. BART, my 6-figure contract this year that I landed like in March or sometime this year came from BART. Who would think that BART needs photography services or video production services, right? Big, and this is huge. PG&E, AT&T, Department of Forestry, they hire photographers all the time, but there's endless opportunities, okay? Catering services at the airport, those vendors, they're vendors, they're city vendors, okay? All right, so all of these things is done in what I call my 3-step BCP system. It's basically qualifying your business. The foundation has to be right so that you can be certified as the woman, the minority, the LGBT, the veteran, all of that stuff, right? The local business, right? To submit proposals. It's just that simple. Qualify your business to get certified so you can submit proposals. So now that you know all of these things.
Could you go back?
Mm-hmm. Everybody got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that you know all of these things, well, how do I keep in touch with you? How do I learn from you? How do I pick your brain some more? What can I do, right? For one, in your folder that you received, there's a flyer in the back. It talks about my mentoring program where you can sign up to become a mentor, where I can mentor you once a month and give you knowledge via email blast, right? It's a mailing list. $20 a month, that's nothing for the game. You guys just got a $2,000 value today, just on business credit alone, right? Not to mention the government contracts. Okay. The other way to work with me is through, if you think that you want to go after these millions of dollars and you want to grow your business and you want to get contracts and you're ready to make that move, I have a coaching program. It's a 6-week program where I roll up my sleeve, mirrors in my program, him and his wife, rolling my sleeves, and we go through your business. We cover everything, the whole BCP process. We cover it. And we get you qualified, certified, and show you how to bid on government contracts, okay? That program, coaching program is $1997, all right? It's a one-time payment of $1997. Inside the program, you get 6 weekly coaching Q&A sessions, workbooks, assignments, access to my private Facebook group where people have access to ask questions 24 hours, and my personal accountability. And I go through the whole full process with you for $1997. Or you can choose to do an installment plan. Some people don't have $1997 sitting around, right? So I offer installment plans, 4 payments of $536. Or this is new. This is brand new, because I know people that really want to do it, but it's just really hard for them because financially they're not in a position to just do $500 a month or $2,000 in one-time payment. So I made it very affordable. So there are no excuses, right? So like I said, 10 payments. We're talking about 10 monthly payments. The program is 6 weeks, right? So that means I'm willing to help my people, but you have to be willing to help yourself, okay? There's a story I was listening to earlier, and it was talking about eagles, how eagles fly, right? Eagles fly high, right? So if you find yourself flying and you see an eagle next to you, that means you're soaring, right? In order to soar, you have to leap. You have to have faith, right? You have to leap, right? But if you look next to you and there's pigeons and ducks, right?
Come on, baby.
And there's chickens, that means you are not walking in your full potential. You're not walking in faith. You don't believe in yourself. You're down here on the ground with the ducks and the chickens and the, what do you call them, pigeons, right? So you got to ask yourself, which one are you? Am I eagle? Do I belong up here? Am I worthy of that, right? Am I worthy? If you teach me, am I going to do the work? It's all about the work. I could teach you and walk you through, like you could take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But if you are willing to invest in yourself and you're willing to learn and take action and implement, I am here every step of the way with you because I want to see my people win, okay? Mm-hmm. Because nobody told me this. Nobody shared this information with me. That's why I'm empowering you today with this information. It exists. If you want that $1 million business, you can get it, right? It's all about knowledge and taking action. Now that you know, what are you going to do with the information? Don't be an information hoarder, right? If 5 years from now you're in the same place, it's because you did not take action on an opportunity, okay? All right. Now, this is my next class is starting on November 25th. And because you're here, in the next 72 hours, I'm offering just this class an early bird discount for half the price, right? There are no excuses. I always tell people to put your money where your mouth is. If you say this is what you want to do, I'm making it very accessible, okay? All right, so one-time payment of $997 or 3 installments of $357. Very, very, very affordable. These are people that are in my program that are kicking butt. My girl Tiffany, who was supposed to be here today, she went through this program with me earlier in the year, and she called me like a few weeks ago and was like, guess what? I was like, you landed a contract. It's not rocket science. If you do the work, you will get the results, okay? Nikki, she's actually from New York, but she was selling $60 services for social media marketing, okay? After working with me, she was like, guess what? She had an opportunity for 6-figure contracts providing the same exact services to the government. It's just that big. We're not talking about if you charge $20 an hour, $25 an hour for your services on a personal level with the government. No, we're talking about $200, $300, $400 an hour. Like, it's crazy. So that's how I was able to get that $70,000 for just 28 days of work, because it's just your value is so much well beyond to the government, right? And they need your services. Again, they're obligated to give you these funding. Oh, and then this is just their testimonials. This is another client that I work with, Alfonso. He's a painter out of San Francisco. He has a painting company. Alfonso implemented my 3-step BCP process, my system into his program, and now he was able to increase his revenues by 75% and actually keep his employees on, which is like his dream. He want to make sure he can keep his employees working. Same with Nikki. To get started, basically, you can see me after. I'll be in the back, or you can go to bit.ly/get contracts. All right. So that was it, everybody. Thank you so much. That slide, I'm gonna go back so she can take a picture. So make sure you take action, and you can always become more than you are, because you can always, learn and take action. Okay, so you can always have more than you got right now, because you can always become more than you are. All right.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Juana.
Oh, you're welcome.
You wanna say it?
Oh.